Okay. So, hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muhammad Daniel Kamal. I am the Secretary STGs at the Prague Association, and along with this, I am playing my role as the co-founder for READ, Resilience and Adaptation. क्योंकि हम लोगों ने हमारी वर्कशॉप सीरीज का बाकायदा से आगाज किया हुआ था and we had our two massive workshops on one was on glaciers and the other one was on ocean warming. Along with the ocean warming, we studied coral bleaching. So sorry. और उसके बाद हमारे पास थोड़ा सा ब्रेक आ गया था एज वी हैड और इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन वाटर फॉर क्लाइमेट रेजिलियंस एंड चूंकि आज का वो दिन है जब से हमारी वर्कशॉप सीरीज का बाकायदा से दोबारा से आगाज होने वाला है। सो आज की वर्कशॉप सीरीज को बाकायदा आगाज करते हुए हम लोगों ने जो टॉपिक चूज किया था फॉर द वर्कशॉप, इट वाज क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज ऑफ द सी। हम लोग ये देखते हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज के डोमेन के अंदर कि हम लोग लोगों के बारे में जिक्र करते हैं, उनकी साइकोलॉजी के बारे में जिक्र करते हैं, उनके ट्रॉमास के बारे में जिक्र करते हैं जब हमारे पास कोई नेचुरल डिजास्टर आ जाते हैं एंड हाउ दे गेट डेविस्टेटेड। लेकिन हम लोग बहुत कम उन लोगों पे बात करते हैं जो जो फोर्स डिस्प्लेसमेंट का शिकार हो जाते हैं, जो क्लाइमेट चेंज की वजह से, जो नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स की वजह से एक जगह से दूसरी जगह उनको नकल मकानी करनी पड़ती है। एंड अगर हम लोग क्लाइमेट चेंज के बारे में बात करें तो उसके अंदर या उस डोमेन के अंदर हम लोग उसको कहते हैं क्लाइमेट चेंज रेफ्यूजीज या क्लाइमेट चेंज माइग्रेंट्स। और इसी डोमेन को अगर हम लोग प्रॉपर्ली आगे लेके चलते हैं तो देन वी गेट लोड्स ऑफ रिकग्निशन ह्यूमन राइट्स प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम ह्यूमन राइट्स हम लोग इसको यूनाइटेड नेशंस के प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी देखते हैं। एंड फॉर टुडेज सेशन वी हैव आवर esteemed स्पीकर मैम महक मसूद। मैम महक मसूद हमारे पास एक रिस्पेक्टेड इन्वायरमेंटलिस्ट और क्लाइमेट चेंज साइंटिस्ट हैं। इन्होंने अपनी मास्टर्स दी थी इन्वायरमेंट की डिग्री, आप कह लें मास्टर्स ऑफ इन्वायरमेंट, फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मेलबर्न ऑन द ऑस्ट्रेलिया अवार्ड स्कॉलरशिप इन 2018। मैम महक के पास 15 इयर्स से ज़्यादा का एक्सपीरियंस है। इन्होंने काउंटलेस इन्वायरमेंटल सस्टेनेबिलिटी क्लाइमेट चेंज प्रोजेक्ट्स किए हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान के साथ, यूनाइटेड नेशंस के साथ, यूएसएड के साथ, जीआईजी के साथ। जीआईजी हमारे पास जर्मन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम जीआईजी ब्रिटिश काउंसिल के साथ, आईयूसीएन इंटरनेशनल यूनियन फॉर कंजर्वेशन ऑफ नेचर, फिर डीएआई, फिर इंटरलूप, फिर आर्टिस्टिक मिलिनर्स एंड द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मेलबर्न। और अभी प्रेजेंटली मैम महक काम कर रही है एज द नेशनल प्रोजेक्ट ऑफिसर इन द डोमेन ऑफ क्लाइमेट चेंज इन यूनाइटेड नेशंस आईओएम पाकिस्तान। और मैम महक ने एक और आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फाउंड की है, ग्रीन विमेन पाकिस्तान। इनकी ग्लोबल रिकग्निशन इंक्लूड करती है पाकिस्तान को रिप्रेजेंट करना एट मोज़ेक इंटरनेशनल लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम। इन्होंने कंप्लीट की थी अपनी क्लाइमेट रियलिटी प्रोजेक्ट की ट्रेनिंग एल्गोर के साथ। एंड अगर हम एल्गोर को थोड़ा सा जिक्र कर लें तो एल्गोर को अगर आप इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस के डोमेन में देखेंगे, अगर आप इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस के डोमेन के अलावा भी देखेंगे तो आप एल्गोर को देखेंगे इन टर्म्स ऑफ इन्वायरमेंटल स्टीवर्डशिप या लीडरशिप। एंड एल गोर हमारे पास यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के फॉर्मर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट रह चुके थे। एंड उन्होंने क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर, उन्होंने एक इन्वायरमेंटल सस्टेनेबिलिटी के ऊपर, कंजर्वेशन के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा काम उनका अभी हमारे पास हो चुका है। एंड राइट नाउ शी इज प्रेजेंटिंग a green social entrepreneurship project to HRH King Charles, His Excellency. And over to you, ma'am. मैं उम्मीद
Thank
करता हूँ
you.
मैम। Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the invitation. And it's so good to see a lot of young minds. I'm seeing a lot of different majors, botany, sociology, other stuff. So looking forward for the interaction and best of luck for your workshop series, which I assume you've been doing and further in process as well.
Thank you.
And Assalamu alaikum everyone. Looking forward to interacting with you. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। इंशाल्लाह मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि हमारी ऑडियंस आपके एक्सपीरियंस से, आपकी एक्सपर्टीज से बहुत ज़्यादा सीखेगी। और मैम इसी चीज़ को कंटिन्यू करते हुए मेरा पहला पहला सवाल ये होगा कि अगर हम लोग क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज का जिक्र करते हैं तो ये पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट है क्या क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज का?
Daniel, there's some different terms which we use. It's like climate refugee migrants, environmental migrants. So there's like different, if you Google them, you can find different words, but all of them explaining is someone moved from one place to another due to a climate-induced natural disaster or from environmental pollution or any conflict that been risen from a natural disaster, for example, a flood, drought, livelihood loss. So that falls under this climate refugee domain. Um, there's a multiple definitions we available, but the coined one, if you can find it, it's I can share if you people also Google. The students are there; they can read up. Is you can find on the IOM there are climate strategy definitions and also climate migration terminology. So you can find that there. So migration, first of all, is it's like if person moves from one place to another, whether it's one city to another city, one area of city to another area of city, and one province to another province, like one state to another, and then one country to another country. So it all falls under the definition of migration, be it any reason. It's economic means, it may be as an educational means. So but the migration that's been resulted in terms of because of a natural disaster, which we are currently seeing, for example, the floods are ongoing, and then people are moving from, people have to move. They are vacating the houses and all that. So that's a climate induced migration, which we use and we are working on. As well, climate induced displacement. So these are the interchangeable terms that's been coming up. And with so climate refugees, which we could call that, it could be from in the, between internally state as well, and also from if there's a disaster in any other country, so they move to within their border. So that per- person could be categorized as climate refugees. We don't have international accepted definitions that categorize you as a climate refugee. In some legislations they are there, like in New Zealand and Papua Guinea and that area where is this um displacement is very much there, like with the island states. So there are legislation around that, and the climate refugee terms is first in the regulations of Australian legislation, and also you can say in the New Zealand plans for their territorial island neighbor countries. So that's if any migration happening due to a natural disaster or environmental pollution, so it's been housed under this term. So this a it's a concept is there, the vulnerable marginalized communities, whenever there's a disaster, whenever there is a livelihood loss, for example, because of excessive cutting of trees or anything which has soil degradation there's resulted in a, and in some way it's a drought situation there. People move from their own area of origin to another community or another location. That's will call that will also house under a climate refugee or maybe a climate migrant. So we can use both these terms.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। और जिस तरीके से मैम अभी आपने कहा कि क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज मोस्टली आपके लिए डिस्प्लेस होते हैं इंटरस्टेट एंड आपके फ्रॉम वन कंट्री टू अनदर नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स की वजह से, तो जस्ट लाइक मैम नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स, क्या हमारे पास कोई ऐसे अदर मेजर फैक्टर्स भी हैं जो फोर्स करते हैं आपको कि आप क्लाइमेट या इन्वायरमेंटल रेफ्यूजीज बने?
Definitely, it's there. Natural disasters के अलावा, for I can give you an example कि जैसे अभी we have a lot of high air pollution levels in Lahore during the winters, and also from जब there is a high temperature up in the north in the winter, so people move down. So that's also one of the migration that happens due to the climatic conditions. So and I mean, I would currently give my example. I'm from Lahore and I moved to Islamabad, not only for work, but one of the reasons for my movement was because of I like the breathing problem, the smog is happening. So people also move due to these conditions. Secondly, there's a water scarcity, there's a drought situation. So people also move because of that as well. So there are multiple reasons that people move, and then environmental conditions, people move due to these factors.
मैम आपका माइक म्यूट हो चुका है।
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, I can completely hear you now.
Okay. Can we take a break for 1 minute? I just have to cut a call. Sorry for that.
No worries, ma'am, you can. Thank you so much.
जी,
Yes, ma'am, काइंडली मैम आप कंटिन्यू कर रहे थे
जी,
उसी
आपका
क्वेश्चन।
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
ओके मैम। ओ मैम, मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये होगा कि अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं क्लाइमेट रिफ्यूजीज ऑफ द सी के बारे में, तो ये टर्म सिर्फ और सिर्फ ह्यूमन बींग्स के लिए ही कॉइन की गई है, या इसके अंदर हमारे पास अदर मेरीन ऑर्गेनिजम्स भी इंक्लूड हो सकते हैं?
Definitely, देखिए biodiversity है. There is a lot of bio, where there's a lot of bird movement during whenever there is um, there's animals जिसकी movement होती है from they move from north to south as well. So yes, but I would say that the refugees of the sea is mostly it's focused on the human beings, but definitely biodiversity is also, it's not limited to humanity only. There are also animal birds that are moving as well. So if you see as a nature as a whole lot, so it is the climate of the refugees. You can they are included in that ecosystem.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। मैम, जब मैं ये क्वेश्चंस की रिसर्च वगैरह कर रहा था, तो उसमें मुझे एक आर्टिकल नजर आया था, क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज जो था वो कॉड स्पीशीज के लिए रेफर कर रहा था ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर। तो इस वजह से मेरे क्वेश्चन की क्यूरियोसिटी ज्यादा बढ़ी थी। तो मैम, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मेरा ये होगा आपसे कि जो कंट्रीज क्या कंट्रीज रियली कंसीडर करते हैं इस टर्म को, क्लाइमेट रिफ्यूजीज को, एज अ प्रायोरिटी, या ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ टर्म जो है उन कंट्रीज के लिए एक प्रॉब्लम बन के रह चुकी है?
देखिए, जैसे मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया था, जैसे बांग्लादेश है, नेपाल, जहाँ पे माइग्रेशन या डिस्प्लेसमेंट और नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स की मल्टीपल रीजन है। बांग्लादेश में द कोस्टल erosion या कोस्टल बेल्ट का जो होता है, मालदीव्स जो कि दे विल बी अंडररेटेड एज व्हाट के उनका अपने क्लाइमेटिक factors हैं, so they are more working on the subject, but ऐसा नहीं है, we also in other countries this as well as the host countries as well, who has to receive these climate refugees or migrants, like I explained earlier, जैसे Australia है, New Zealand है, they are also working on the legislation. They have once island states हैं, पापा न्यू दैट स्टेट, दे आर ऑल्सो लाइक, अगर हम अपने बॉडी ऑफ वर्क में देखें तो जो पैसिफिक आइलैंड्स वाले कंट्रीज, दे आर वर्किंग अ लॉट ऑन द सब्जेक्ट. So the countries are working on it. Not all developing countries जिनका ये issue है ज़्यादा, but the developed countries as well. So ये migration overall, and then refugees, climate refugees, these terms are now become the part of a lot of conversation, and this is also one of the lenses that would be seen in contextualizing the legislations and international migration laws and all these affairs. So I'm not saying very much work in place, but it is also a matter of consideration.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। एंड मैम, माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल इन्वॉल्व कि करंटली हमारी जो पॉपुलेशन है वो एक्सीड कर चुकी है 8 बिलियन इन नंबर्स को लास्ट नवंबर 2024 के अंदर। और बाय 2050 ये सुनने में आया एक रिपोर्ट के अंदर कि हमारे पास क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज जो हो जाएंगे उनकी तादाद 1.2 बिलियन से ज्यादा एक्सीड कर जाएगी। तो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू मैम, इस 1.2 बिलियन का जो नंबर है क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज का, इस कैटेगरी के अंदर हमारे पास कौन से जो है वो मेजर विक्टिम्स के तौर पे फॉल करेंगे?
Are you asking globally or just in Pakistan?
मैम, पहले आप ग्लोबली तस्करा करते हैं, फिर अकॉर्डिंग टू यू पाकिस्तान के अंदर कौन फॉल करेंगे?
अच्छा, देखिए बहुत सारी I mean, आप लोग देख रहे हैं, you've been witnessing a lot of disasters which we are currently facing in not only in our country but also worldwide as well. And there's a lot of rapid shift in worse paradigm. There's a multiple reasons around that. So definitely, yeah, when there will be there disaster, maybe there is a forest fire, anything coming up, people will move. It's not like कि अगर कोई एक disaster है कि हम लोग वहीं रहेंगे, या अगर drought का एक situation है तो people will stay there forever. They have to move around. So ये consideration planning planners और policy makers को factor in करनी पड़ेगी कि there अगर हमने और also अगर हम development, if we are moving and making this development moves, how it is impacting the overall ecosystem, not only just the ecological ecosystem, but also the social ecosystem around that, or how we can accommodate these people, which the figures you are explaining, that's been contemplated from the international resources, which is it is right. And and I don't think that any country or anywhere in the world is prepared for this to tackle this refugees and migrants thing, unless I mean, agar let's take it down to Pakistan. Are we able to, the refugees, oh, sorry, the flood affectees from 2020, 2010 plus, they are not able to return back to their own cities. They have just been integrated in the current city ecosystem where they blended. And even in 2022 floods, still there are people are not be back, and the recovery process is so slow, and then we are again hit with the 2025 floods. They have to Everyone has to evacuate their home. So do we consider these things? What are the futuristic plans? Do we run these climate migration models? Do we see the social impact, how this will be culturally impacting? What are the policies in place? I'm not sure that it's that we are in our policymakers, even in Pakistan or even in the around the world, are still alarmed from this upcoming crisis.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। मैम मेरा जो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन होगा वो ये होगा कि इंटरनेशनल फॉरम्स के ऊपर, फॉर एग्जांपल यूनाइटेड नेशंस हो गया, और यूनाइटेड नेशंस के साथ जो यूएन की रिस्पेक्टिव एजेंसीज हैं, आईओएम हो गया, यूएनएचसीआर हो गया, यूएनएचआरसी हो गया, एंड एटसेट्रा, क्या इन तमाम एजेंसीज के पास लॉज हैं, रेगुलेशंस हैं जो क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज को सपोर्ट करती हैं, उनके लिए मैम उनके राइट्स को कंसीडर करती हैं?
देखिए, फर्स्ट फर्स्ट क्लैरिफिकेशन, एजेंसीज जो इंटरनेशनल बॉडीज होती है, दे आर like we're not mandated to have, we do treaties, declaration, agreements, वो multilateral bilateral होता है, and then the countries उन treaties को sign करती है और rectify करते हैं. जो laws है, it would be done by the countries. They have to make those policies. The agencies, like for example, our mandate is migration, regular migration pathways. So what we can do, we can facilitate the government in developing those policy making thing and mainstream human mobility context, like what we are, like currently what I am working, क्या हुआ कि एनडीसी में, क्लाइमेट चेंज पॉलिसी में, नैप में ऑलरेडी है, फिर इसको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कैसे फ्रेमवर्क में आप ट्रांसलेट करें. सो these agencies are working in different all around the world now. IOM is working on this very not only globally, Pakistan में तो कर रहे हैं, but also globally as well. And there is stats like 20 NDCs में so far human mobility context mainstream हुआ है, उन्होंने अपने targets में डाला है. NAP में 81% of NAP has the human mobility context. So this is something which we are efforting and mobilizing that. अगर आपको legislations में देखना है, if you read the NAP Bangladesh, NAP of National Adaptation Plan, let me just, sorry, we use these acronyms so often that I forgot to, put up the full form. Is a National Adaptation Plan of Bangladesh का पढ़े, so you can find the climate refugee context. So unke paas, they have a public project around that. So now this is the becoming the part, and then if Nepal NAP also have that. So countries are picking this subject up and also translating that in their legislative framework, climate governance framework. And the agencies around like UNHCR, which you have mentioned, IOM, we are all working to streamline that. I would suggest, since you all are students and you all be love to read stuff, so if you go to the IOM publications, you can fact the migration, environment, and climate change. There is multiple resources available. We have our strategy there, how we are supporting countries. There are researches like what we done, like different countries fact sheets, how they have included migration, environment, and climate change into their context, and now we are working in Pakistan to develop one as well. So our role is to facilitate, and technique gives the technical assistance and the tools and give them that, bring all the stakeholders together to talk about that. But the main onus is on the country to develop those. So yes, this is now one of the agendas for different countries in their legislation as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Looking forward to seeing Pakistan's NAP updated one.
It's
Okay,
a will. The NAP already had the human ability context, so if you just read it down, you will find that.
thank you so much, ma'am. मैम मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये होगा कि अकॉर्डिंग टू यू अभी हमारे पास रिसेंट वर्ल्ड के अंदर जो हमारे पास क्राइसिस चल रहे हैं, क्लाइमेट क्राइसिस, हमारे पास कौन कौन से कंट्रीज से मोस्टली क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज ऑफ द सी आ रहे हैं?
Interesting question. Actually, that is would be an interesting data collection, which I think I guess you students can find one of the good researchers to do so. I'm not, I cannot quote anything authentic without any authentic sources, but um, climate refugees of the sea का ज़्यादा जो context है, that is more to the island states, which is like Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, because they are more in that area. And then you can just go. There's a lot of irregular migration to the European side from Pakistan, because that's a different context, because of the economic reasons. And then Bangladesh, in India, they have this lot of movement from the refugees and all. But those are not categorized that it is due to climate-induced migration. There are other reasons around that. And I think so, as in our country situation, we might not having climate refugees at the moment. If you're just thinking about Pakistan with the geographical context, but you never know if there is a torrential sea disaster. So we can have from India, we can have those people around, or maybe from other neighboring state, or maybe from the uh, other areas. So, but this is more prevalent. This movement is these refugees movement is more prevalent in Indonesia, Malaysia, and then all Pan Asian, Southeast Asia countries there, and that's why you, if you just type there, you can find a lot of body of work in Uzbekistan, East Asia. They also have a lot of movement around those climatic conditions. So if you these different scenarios, it's not like if you go for the North South America, that's also one of the things. So every they are receiving the same, but I think it's a lot of out of movement from Pakistan because irregulation migration pathways, but that's we cannot coin that climate migration to be specific, because there's not enough authentic studies has been done, and I think you students should see it as one of the topic of research. Research. Also, tell us how. Where do you see about it? I think I'm just pointing these questions to the students and the youth to do this study for us.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। और स्टूडेंट्स आपके लिए मैम ने एक प्रोजेक्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी दे दी है। यू हैव टू प्रेजेंट अ प्रपोजल एंड गिव इट टू मैम, एंड देन आई गेस आप लोग काम कर सकते हैं यूएन और आईओएम के साथ। मैम इसी के साथ अगर हम लोग नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ चले, तो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपसे ये होगा कि अभी हमारे पास कुछ ऐसी केस स्टडीज हैं इस टर्म के ऊपर, क्लाइमेट रेफ्यूजीज ऑफ द सी, और कुछ ऐसी केस स्टडीज पास्ट के अंदर जो हुई हो और जिनसे पाकिस्तान सीख सके।
Definitely, आपको काफी स्टडीज मिलेंगे। एज एन एक्सप्लेन, बांग्लादेश की स्टडीज हैं, मालदीव्स की है, बांग्लादेश के तो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं ऑन द रेफ्यूजीज, climate refugees, because that's very it's a very hardcore issue for them. For example, अभी currently floods हमारा climatic and जो major issue है floods है, and then it would be air pollution, water scarcity. Similarly in Bangladesh, that's something you can also look into it. Also see their legislations; they are very good with that. Similar Nepal, Pacific Islands, Papua Guinea, उनकी studies है. Even उनका जो प्रॉपर एक इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्रेमवर्क प्लान है उसके ऊपर उन्होंने हाउ दे मेक इट अप, उन्होंने क्लाइमेट फाइनेंसिंग को उसके अराउंड किया, पब्लिक पॉलिसी एंड प्लानिंग को लिए एशिया पैसिफिक के कंट्रीज को यू शुड स्टडी अराउंड, वहाँ पे बहुत आपको केस स्टडीज हैं जो कि उन्होंने कैसे ये calculations and data collection कैसे हुई है. Then you can go to the African countries. We were talking internally with our global colleagues, so they are also working on this subject, how they are looking into it. So a lot of context is available. These are the countries I just gave you to name. If you more dig into the subject, you will find a lot of more good materials. If you go to our website of IOM publication, Asia Pacific, and also the global one, we have a lot of body of work there where we do these publications. Even currently, we are doing a climate vulnerability assessment in the coastal areas. Like we completed that in Thatta. That's a baseline pilot. Then it was a community-based informative assessment, and then we'll trying to find the reasons for migration, and then we will go to the other baseline to the coastal area. So a lot of work is being done, and I suggest all you students to please use these resources in your studies and also for your own knowledge base as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And inshallah, I guess the youth of Pakistan will use these studies for their own research projects. So, ma'am, moving forward, मेरा next question आपसे ये होगा कि हमें पता है कि हमारे पास आए दिन rising sea level देखा जा रहा है, हमारे पास ocean acidification देखी जा रही है, and with all of these things हमारे पास different sea के related disasters देखने को मिल रहे हैं. तो हमें पता है कि इसकी वजह से हमारे पास हमारे जो घर हैं जो कि हम लोग कोस्टल एरियाज के गिर्द बना रहे हैं या अपार्ट फ्रॉम द कोस्टल एरियाज, वो किसी ना किसी तरीके से लॉस्ट हो रहे हैं समंदरों की तरफ. तो ये ऐसा क्या होता है मैम, हमारे पास क्या नेशंस की जो आइडेंटिटी होती है, आइडेंटिटीज होती है, उनकी शिनाख्त होती है, या वो भी जमीनों के साथ डिसअपेयर हो जाती है, घरों के साथ? और क्या एक कंट्री अपने जमीन के बगैर अपनी सॉवरेंटी बरकरार रख सकता है, अपने वकार को?
Number one, there's a demarcation thing. So हमारे coastal island geographically marked होते हैं. Even the rivers, आप देख लें, अगर आप sea की बात करें, river, even with the rivers, they are marked as well. So yes, the coast changed their patterns of living. Uh, Number one, अगर आपने जैसे अभी कहा कि हम वहाँ पे there is land losses as well, and then it's जैसे मालदीव में हो रहा है, they're losing their land masses. Similarly with Bangladesh, they're saying that it's been happening. So yes, this the nature that it's a natural process, but ये जो climatic changes और ये जो हमारे anthropogenic activities की वजह से it has speeded up the process. जाहिर बात है जब आपका सर्टेन सी लेवल राइज इंक्रीज होगा तो आपकी सिटी जब with their underwater, so they will be vanished. So sovereignty अभी जब आपके पूरी cities wipe out हो जाएंगी, so of course there's a land loss, there's a livelihood loss, there's an infrastructure loss. So of course there would be also this is also a security threat as well. एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली अगर पाकिस्तान के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात करें, हम यहाँ पे हमने बिल्कुल इस चीज को कंसिडर नहीं किया कि जो नेचुरल फॉरेस्ट हैं या आप इंक्रोचमेंट्स पे, इवन आप रिवर बेड्स पे, आप सी कोस्टल लाइन्स पे, यू आर मेकिंग दीज सोसाइटीज एंड एवरीथिंग. व्हाट विल हैपन, इट वुड बी अ ह्यूज विदाउट क्लाइमेट रिस्क असेसमेंट एंड वल्नरेबिलिटी असेसमेंट. You are making these infrastructure these things. So, we really need to consider it's a huge, not only, I mean, you are pointed very well and is glad you come up with question. And also, since you are the future of Pakistan, you really need to question why this is happening. What is your future around that? Because it's a security threat as well. In the end of the day, the climate change is a reality and we really need to act on it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And inshallah, we look forward to seeing all students, all participants play a key and integral role in this domain. So, ma'am, my next question will be कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर या apart from पाकिस्तान हमारे पास जो rising seas होते हैं, climate migration के cases देखे जाते हैं, क्या ये rising seas और climate migration के cases conflict की तरफ लेके जाते हैं या cooperation की तरफ लेके जाते हैं nations के दरमियान? और वो क्या चीज है ऐसी मैम जो इस पाथ को डिटरमिन करती है कि ये हमारे पास राइजिंग सी लेवल या क्लाइमेट माइग्रेशन का जो इशू होगा ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट की तरफ लेके जा रही है कॉपरेशन की तरफ लेके जा रहा
देखिए डेफिनेटली देखो nobody is prepared to accept a certain number of population of any unexpected way. So definitely it's a lot of conflict driven things happen that if you can see between India, Bangladesh, there's communities within the refugee communities moved because of disaster. But at the same times, also there are host communities like in Turkey. There, when there's a disaster, and if you see in the Jordan, there's a lot of refugee acceptance of the community. So uh, it could be both ways. It again is again you know depends between how the inter relationing between the two countries. But of course, if there is a disaster and a lot of migration happened and the host country is not able to facilitate everyone, that it will raise conflict. It will also distort their social fabric. So बहुत सारी चीजें एक चीज one thing add on to another. And definitely इसका good way तो ये है कि if there's a disasters like or any conflict situation, then the countries both have to see, and then the host country it got an additional pressure. So definitely it would be a reason of conflict more, in my opinion, than cooperation. But of course, there's also cooperation between the countries as well. And I see the countries is also one of the disaster preparedness thing that which also look into the thing that capacity building should be there. For climate diplomacy, this is one of the areas which the countries need to explore in their diplomatic relationing as well. That in case of disaster and anything, how we could support each other.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम सो मैम इसी चीज को कंटिन्यू करते हुए मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पाकिस्तान की तरफ से होगा कि क्या हम इस डोमेन के ऊपर पाकिस्तान के अंदर हमारी गवर्नमेंट हमारी बॉडीज जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की मदद के अंदर है CSOs की मदद के अंदर है NGOs की मदद के अंदर है या बिजनेस सेक्टर ले लें क्या हमारे पास इस डोमेन के ऊपर प्रॉपर काम हो रहा है
Yes, we are. Now this topic is like is starting to get attention because the climate change overall is getting attention because now we are hit from it. Now we disasters are on its own. I hope see we prevented by that, but anyways, but we are in a critical and urgent situation at the moment. So बहुत कुछ करने की जरूरत है. आई वोंट से कि काम हो रहा है बट इसको थोड़ा और स्पीड अप होने की जरूरत है और आई थिंक हमें इसके लिए कलेक्टिवली सबको काम करने की जरूरत है. ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स शुड वर्क टुगेदर. Our government should also go another extra hand to bring all these stakeholders together. Our role is like we try to bring all these stakeholders together to sit and talk about these issues. जैसे आपको explain किया कि हमारे NAP में भी है अब जो वो एक नेशनल लेवल डॉक्यूमेंट है उसको प्रोविजनल लेवल देन टू डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल तक चीजें जो है ना वो एस्केलेट होनी चाहिए. So I won't say legislations के अलावा policy implementation framework. So now this is all taking place, but I think हमें मज़ीद studies, मज़ीद interest, मज़ीद data की ज़रूरत है to inform government and make these evidence-based policies.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम मैम मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये होगा कि हम पाकिस्तान को कौन कौन से लेसन्स लेने चाहिए हिस्ट्री से जो रिमेम्बर करती हैं पहले की नेशंस जो सीज के अंदर वैनिश हो चुकी
देखिए नंबर वन, अब इफ यू जस्ट वी गो टू द, अब हम कोस्टल इरोजन और उनके कोस्टल कम्युनिटीज के बारे में देख रहे हैं। आपने नंबर वन रीजन, अगर आई थिंक हमें अपने ही लेसन्स लर्न देख लेने चाहिए, जो हमने जिस तरीके से अनप्रेसिडेंटेड अर्बनाइजेशन की है, या हमने दरख्त काट दिए, या हमने कोस्टल कम्युनिटीज को इम्पैक्ट किया है। सो whenever you disrupt the nature, it will come back to you. ठीक? So I think we really need to sit and see why we are disrupting these natural systems, or why we are making these population areas and areas which are disaster prone. तो हमें vulnerability assessments करने की जरूरत है। इंडिजिनस नॉलेज को यूज करने की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है कि टू आस्क पीपल एंड आल्सो टू इन्वॉल्व द कम्युनिटीज। एवरी कम्युनिटी हैज अ इंडिजिनस नॉलेज बेस, उसको यूज करने की जरूरत है। दैट्स हियर आर द लेसन्स व्हिच वी विल लर्न एज अ नेशन। And you can see Maldives and all Bangladesh and all these our neighboring countries, and also in the east, how they have not only Singapore and all these island states, and how they have uh, come up after these a lot of tsunami, Sri Lanka, like how they have reconstruct themselves. So there's a lot of resilient stories around that, and we are also one of the very resilient nation in that way. So we really need to reconsider our all the priorities, how where we set to avoid these disasters, and now if the disasters are unavoidable, how to cope up and and bounce back from this situation.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। और मैम इसी चीज को कंटिन्यू करते हुए मेरा क्वेश्चन ये होगा कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर हमारे पास मेजर रिवर्स 5 है। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम इंडस की एग्जांपल लें, इंडस रिवर की, तो इंडस रिवर के अंदर हमें सेलिनिटी के इशू देखने को मिल रहे हैं, हमें सी इंट्रूजन देखने को मिल रही है। तो हमारे जो कोस्टल फार्मर्स हैं या हमारी जो फिशिंग कम्युनिटीज हैं, उनका क्या होगा, उनके साथ क्या होगा? एंड अगर तो उनके मैम मेजरली सोर्सेज आप कह लें इकोनॉमी के, या उनके आप कह लें मैम हाउसिंग के, वो खराब हो जाते हैं, तो वो कहाँ जाएंगे?
देखिए वो तो ऑलरेडी, एज आई टोल्ड यू, हम कोस्टल कम्युनिटीज के साथ काम कर रहे हैं। दे आर ऑलरेडी मूविंग टू सिटीज, डूइंग मूविंग वर्किंग इन एज अ लेबर, doing they move, they left their space, and but whenever there's a situation back, they also come back. So definitely they have to move. अगर एक जगह से ना आपको पानी मिल रहा है, ना आपकी वहां पे काश्तकारी हो रही है, ना आप वहां पे रह सक रहे हैं, तो आप definitely you will move, you will leave your family back, and then you move to a metropolitan city to earn. So this will happen naturally. Then again, your social cultural fabric also deteriorated, and you have all these social issues, protection, gender, that's the fabric will all disrupted. And yes, this is happening. The coastal community, they left their you know cultural, their lands, they moved to city, they were farmers, they are working as laborers. So it's a very common phenomenon now, and then this is the reason. And when we are doing the survey, the reason behind moving around is just maybe the access to clean drinking water, loss of livelihood. And the third main reason come up with our study is the lack of infrastructure and the opportunities. So yes, they will migrate, they will move, they will be impacted. I mean, they are currently in a very worse situation at the moment.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। और इसी के साथ मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन ये होगा, एंड देन वी विल बी मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द Q&A सेशन ऑफ फॉर द पार्टिसिपेंट्स। मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन मैम ये है कि हाउ द यूथ कैन गेट इन्वॉल्वड इन ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग, और अगर हम लोग पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहते हैं किसी प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर जो फोकस है रेफ्यूजीज ऑफ द सी को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, तो फिर हम किस तरीके से पार्टिसिपेट करें?
Okay, there's a lot of, see, youth, you are our future, you are agent of change. I mean, when 15 years back, when I started studying environmental sciences from Kinnate College, I was like a second young batch of environmental sciences when we started. We have to face a lot of issues for the new subject. हम स्मोक के बारे में बात करते थे या एडवोकेसी करते थे, तो nobody takes us seriously, especially because शायद 15-20 साल पहले हमारी जो कंट्री थी ना वो इस तरह से हिट नहीं हुई थी जिस तरह अब हम बहुत ज्यादा रैपिड फ्रीक्वेंसी से नेचुरल डिजास्टर। तो आप लोग, यू आर द एजेंट्स ऑफ चेंज, एंड there's a multiple ways you increase. You have the power. आजकल तो social media का दौर है, and I'm seeing you people are so great in these advocacy. So you can do the research work. आपके subjects में आपको research work करना है. आपके you can do these campaigns, you can do these digital campaigns and everything. uh, there's a lot of body of work available, like आप experts हैं. अब तो हम लोग तो we used to do this advocacy on the roads and everything, but you people are so you can do it online, of course. So please be involved in that. There's a new topic. अभी इसकी इतनी hype नहीं हुई, so you can also talk to the communities. Go and talk to the communities. Coastal communities, do their surveys. Be part of the movement. Just not only just this subject, but I would say a different, find different themes of the climate change to work on. And also see with a different lens what we are currently studying. Be very updated what's going out, not just like in Pakistan, what's going on internationally. Read about it, write about it, and talk about it. And also whatever you can do in your domain, in your community. It shouldn't be a very big project. I will just give you my example. I started Green Women in Pakistan from 5 members. Now it's a network of 300 plus women. So just start doing things up. Educate. Tell your parents, everyone that this is important. Lifestyle changes. So anything you can do. I won't say we can bring, but collectively, one person cannot bring the change, but collectively we can bring the change. And I just love talking to that. I get a lot of energy. I think you have more creative ideas than myself. But when I was at your time, we used to advocate of not cutting the trees, plantation trees. Um, it was not the flavor of the town, climate change and environment, but now it is the flavor of the town because it's the worst thing which is happening now, though, but it's also an opportunity to raise your voice, but also at the same time, uh, nobody is going to save us. We have to save ourselves. So please have these things in your mind. You can get a career out of it as well. You can do, for example, for the refugees of the sea, just develop the localized solutions, how you can do it. Uh, that's how you can bring the change. Sorry, I just get a little sentimental when I start talking about the things that youth can do it for themselves in Pakistan.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। और इसी के साथ मेरी तरफ से क्वेश्चंस का आपके लिए इख्तिताम हुआ है। और अब मैं पढ़ता हूँ पार्टिसिपेंट्स की तरफ। इफ दे वांट टू आस्क क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम मैम, प्लीज रेज योर हैंड एंड ओपन योर माइक। यू कैन ओपन योर माइक फ्रीली। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस थिंग, ma'am, there is a question in the chat box from Miss Mahin Salim. She's asking, I have a question regarding current flood situation. It's not that only Pakistan is facing floods or only Pakistan have oceans or unexpected rains. Other countries are also facing it, but they are controlled at least more than Pakistan. And after all these years, Pakistan failed to learn from their past experiences. What are your observations? And people in the same field think, what do they think? What is the need?
Well, thank you for the question, and a very pertinent one. And yes, it's not only us that facing disaster. I agree, but we at least, I mean, uh, unfortunately, there's a lack of seriousness in our country, and I'm not saying it's just on the government and it's also at the citizens end as well. So a lot of नुकसान जो भी अभी हमारा हो रहा है, it could be avoided अगर हमने ये वाटर बॉडीज के pathways में हमने अगर ये urbanization कर ली, so water will find its way and this will happen. So there's a lot of governance issues, very also uh, I mean, I would always say it's a basic concept. Like we have cut our trees, हमारा forest cover इतना नहीं है कि हमारा soil के पास वो capacity नहीं है कि वो forest के पास कि जो इस पानी के flow को रोके, because they are the natural carbon sinks, they are the natural binders of the soil and everything. So we have done that as well. We are in a messed up situation. Other countries are, they are also facing the same problems, but everyone is dealing it in their own way. We really need to think that what goes wrong and from where how we can change it and we can go to the next step. We need to find the worst has happened. Now what's next? So and that way again I come back to my previous plea that please speak about your rights, not in in a most uh, demanding in most polite tone, but just put up your these are our rights which we really need to ask and question what we are going to do. And this is a question. And as a climate person, as I told you, when I started my studying in 20, I mean, 4, 5, when I started my undergrad, so we were talking about smog issue, but we do this advocacy, but it wasn't an issue. But now you can see Lahore is unbreathable in winter. So, this is an example what we have faced after 20 years. This is how which it's so we know this will happen, the studies were showing. And but now what we need to do, we really need to do this science-based communication and effective right-based advocacy for ourselves, because nobody going to save ourselves, we have to save ourselves. That's what we really need to do.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Or apart from Miss Maheli, is there anyone who wants to ask a question? Come on, participants, please feel free to ask. मैम के पास बहुत सारा experience है. You can ask ma'am regarding any organization जिनके साथ मैम ने काम किया. GIZ, United Nations, IOM, IUCN. Ma'am, there is a question from Mr. Shahir. He's asking what are the strengths and limitations of existing international frameworks for addressing climate displacement? और उन्होंने organizations का जिक्र कर लिया है, such as the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Global Compact on Refugees, ultimately इन्हीं organizations का.
As you explained the limitation, देखिए ये हम is exactly like UNFCCC and सबने we have climate migration. But these are the guiding points. These are the starting points. उसको implement कैसे करना है, तो mostly it's more on the countries that has to adopt and implement. So there comes that's the limitation. So only we can, the UN agencies can ask about the progress, they can support as a technical assistance. But again, it's more how the country's leaderships work on these, take these situations more seriously.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a question from Miss Maham Farooq. She's asking, other than awareness campaigns, what else can we do to do something about this climatic issue?
Plant trees as much as possible when there's a monsoon season, and also take care of them. Go for a green entrepreneurship project. See how you can use this climate situation as an entrepreneur project of yours. Do research, do write articles. I mean, there's 100 ways you can do contribute to the stuff. Also, don't litter and don't let other people. These are the small things which you can do. There's 100 list if you can use on the ChatGPT, and then make that eco-centric values for yourself and your for future generation as well, because we have a certain life. I mean, my half life is past, another half life is there, but you people are still here. You have another future to come. So, you really need to and I see there's a lot of eco-centric values are now part of our current youth. It should be more focused in that way.
Thank you so much, ma'am. और इसी के साथ एक और question है Miss Suhaila Noor. Due to recent floods, there are a lot of people who had to migrate. So what measures should be taken to protect these type of climate refugees?
Oh God, that's like what we are working as well. Currently, need assessments are ongoing. So, firstly, they really need to have camps where they can firstly be placed. Those should be as working in IOM, we have a global mandate of providing shelter and camp coordination. So they would be they should be safely be evacuated firstly and be placed where in these camps, and then when the water is down moved back to their own situation. But unfortunately, if the whole village is wiped out, what will they do? That would be a difficult situation. That's why our flood affectees, they are still they started living in the region which where they are they were being located. And then we don't have a climate risk insurance system in place, which we should, the government is working on that. Maybe in further years, we could see that if there is a loss, how they can be compensated. So we need to see these things for our future planning. That if there is a migration and displacement, how they will have, when the returnees will be back, how they will be integrated. So all these things need to be in the considerations.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So apart from these questions, अगर किसी को भी मज़ीद question है, तो there is a question from Miss Fatma Mustafa. She's asking, I have a question. My question is that how do the concepts of climate refugee and environmental migrants intersect with traditional notions of refugeehood and migration?
Till told you in the in my beginning that environmental migrants and all these are the interchangeable words. So environmental migrants, उसको हमने मजीद specify कर दिया, any movement due to an environmental pollution or disaster or any cause, they coined them to the environmental migrant. So yes, it's just we categorize that, and it's just go very much with the traditional notion of refugeehood and migration. But another branch out that you know anything specifically, because recognizing that people are moving because of anything related to disaster is one thing, even for the pollution that will be considered as environmental or migration.
Ma'am, there are two more questions. एक जो question है वो है Mr. Farman Wali का. He's asking my question is, can climate migration be seen as adaptation strategy rather than a crisis?
Yes, definitely, yes, it is.
Okay.
And we did a very wholesome working as well, because adaptation is a new reality. We really need to think on adaptation. See if, for example, अगर disaster floods आ रहे हैं, तो अगर एक एरिया में floods आ रहे हैं, so we know के इस एरिया के लोगों को कहीं पे मूव करना है या उनको एक लाइवलीहुड जगह पे लेकर मूव करना है, सो हमारे पास एक प्रॉपर अगर प्लानिंग होगी, या इवन हमने फॉर एग्जांपल वहाँ पे एग्रीकल्चर लैंड्स है, या हमने वहाँ का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ही ऐसा बनाना है, अगर हमें coastal areas, and in Australia we used to go the Port Fairy. If you can do a study, Port Fairy के ऊपर उन्होंने it's a high prone tsunami hit area, वहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा sea cyclones आते हैं. So what they did, they made these very high houses, and then with just only with woods and all. In case there's a high torrential rains, they first get an evacuation early warnings. They get it evacuated, and even if the whole house has been wiped out, they can. It would be a much of the damage happened, So these sort of strategies, and then they move to another city, then they come back. So yes, migration is definitely an adaptation pathway.
Thank you so much, ma'am. और I guess एक और question है Miss शीजा शाहिद की तरफ से. She is asking कि how can Pakistan balance climate action with international economic and political pressures?
Oh God, yeah, we are asking a lot. We are doing a lot of advocacy around that. I'm glad we do have our leadership working on that. The COP30 is on the way. A loss and damage. We are advocating a lot on our work. Yes, it's very difficult for us to balance that as well. But we really need to see how we can tackle this thing with our localized solutions. There, where the youth can come out, we have to save ourselves. International pressures are there. But again, the international pressures are different ways. For example, now we have more stringent, with our exports, there are more stringent, environmental regulations are in there that you need to be carbon neutrality, you need to have a little life cycle assessments, the supply chains, traceability. So we really need to back up ourselves technically, how we can make our products more compatible in the market with the other regions, working in the region. So that's what you really need to do. And it's a lot of pressure on us, but I am sure uh, brains, young youth brains, which the country with has a lot of youth bulge, can make it easier for their own country as well.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। और आई गेस इसी के साथ हमारा आज का सेशन इख्तिताम पजीर होता है। आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक यू मैम। इट वाज अ बंडल ऑफ प्लेयर कि मैं आपको होस्ट कर सकता था। एंड आई नो कि थोड़ा सा हमारे पास ऊंचा नीचे मैम ऊपर नीचे हो चुका था टाइमिंग्स का, लेकिन थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग हियर। एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है मैम मिस माहिन की तरफ से। शी इज आस्किंग कि व्हाट आर द मस्ट रीड बुक्स और एनी वेबसाइट्स दैट वी कैन एक्सप्लोर टू गेट अ बेटर नॉलेज how we actually reached this extreme climate change situation,
Mm.
to actually learn and adapt, and is it possible we can reverse this situation?
Definitely, there's always a keep always a hope of optimism with you. There's a lot of TED Talks available. Books are there. I am reading currently Climate Capitalism. I really like that book. And there's another one with the Seth Godin, Climate Carbon Almanac. That's one of my favorites as well. But on the other hand, just start reading where this whole environmentalism movement started. The Silent Spring by Rachel Carson, all-time favorite. And also read a lot of scientific publications, UNFCCC. Go to the UNFCCC website, see all the NDCs, NAB, a lot of countries. There's bundle of resources available. Different UN publications, UNDP publications, IOM. If you get specific topic, I would suggest if you could just go and tap to our IOM publication website. You will get a lot of, just on this topic and other topics, you get a lot of information around that. So yes, read. It's really important. And also, what I also give, read and see what you can do it, how you can replicate or maybe adapt and localize that thing in your own country. Since you are more young, youth oriented, also just not have a very job focused mindset. We have a very entrepreneurial mindset. So also read how uh, different youth working around, and also be connected to different youth networks around in the globally. See how they are using the latest technologies and everything at their end and making money out of it. So it's really important. We also need to balance economically, but also go for nature-based solution and eco-entrepreneurship. So do that. Start doing it from now if you really want to see yourself in a. Also, it's also increase your skill set, green skill set in that way as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Looking forward to seeing you in the upcoming workshops. It was really a pleasure from our side and the participants के हम लोगों ने आपकी नॉलेज से मुस्तफीद हुए, आपके एक्सपीरियंसेस से हम लोगों ने सीखा। एंड इंशाल्लाह मुझे उम्मीद है कि हमारे में से हमारी पार्टिसिपेंट्स में से आपसे आपके साथ इंशाल्लाह विद इन सम इयर्स 1 ईयर 2 ईयर कुछ ना कोई पार्टिसिपेंट आपके साथ काम करेगा। और इसी के साथ साथ हमारी आज के वर्कशॉप का इख्तिताम होता है। मैं मैम की लिंक्डइन आईडी आपके साथ शेयर कर दूंगा। इफ यू वांट टू रीच मैम यू कैन रीच हर आउट or being a part of her organization and get in contact with ma'am. And yes, ma'am, once again, thank you so much for this workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please do follow me on my Twitter and my LinkedIn. And also, I do have a public social Insta handle, Life of Climate Change Techie. So you can reach out to me to there. I'll just post whatever I'm doing and also other stuff around that. So thank you very much. And lovely talking to you. Have a good weekend and nice talking to you. And thank you for the opportunity, Dadel. Take care.
The pleasure is all mine, man. Take care. Thank you so much once again.
Allah Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz, man. Thank you. और गाइस इसी के साथ हमारी आज की वर्कशॉप का इख्तिताम होता है। इंशाल्लाह मैं आप लोगों से मिलता हूँ कल हमारी किसी और वर्कशॉप के अंदर, और कल का जो टॉपिक होगा वो भी फ्लडिंग के रिगार्डिंग है। तो प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ टुमारोज वर्कशॉप। लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू सीइंग यू टुमारो। खुदा हाफिज, गुड इवनिंग वंस अगेन, थैंक यू।